Come on, bitch, let's go. Come on, get ready, bitches. You haven't seen nothing yet. Come on.
Valentino, Versace, Lamborghini, Bugatti. I got money to burn. I'm single and I'm naughty.
Come on.
Tiffany's, Cartier, Gucci, Armani.
Come on.
Break out your black card, boys. It's time to party.
Casey.
Oh no, what's wrong? Are you crying?
Yeah.
Why are you crying?
My Instagram account got hacked.
Oh, this has happened to my sister as well.
Yeah. Everyone thinks it's PK.
Oh, that technological whiz.
All right. I'm just kidding. I'm not that upset about that, but I am upset that and it wasn't PK. I was just joking around. I am upset that my Instagram got hacked and hijacked for 24 hours and a cryptocurrency.
It's always the cryptocurrencies.
It was actually some fraudster trying to get people to give money through a cryptocurrency market trade site.
Mm-hmm.
And they thought, that they were going to get away with it and delete all of the DMs. And it turned out that people underestimate my work ethic. And I went through 300 DMs until I found one DM that they made a mistake in, and they actually left the site that they were conducting the fraud on. And so I then actually DM'd like all 300 people that had been impacted and with my voice and said, I'm so sorry, and had them reach out to me. But it was like a whole thing. But unfortunately for the fans, it was not PK who hacked my Instagram, although great memes came out of it. And I am talking about Snark Side, Bravo Snark Side. That meme of PK was awesome. All right. So I want to tell you where this episode has come from, Casey.
Mm-hmm.
Basically what happened was I had put in the Patreon a questionnaire because PK once again for the second time went on his Instagram to his 150,000 plus people and called me a see you next Tuesday. And I'll get into more detail about that. The fans were pretty taken aback by the fact that I guess, again, I'll get into the details in a minute, but that he actually went out of his way to post that I was a see you next Tuesday, and come for the influencer reality diamond Freddie. And they were pretty shocked, honestly, at the viciousness of his posts. And they expected me, I guess, to really retaliate very hard on my Instagram or in social media, to come back or retaliate against him. And I luckily was sledding with my son. So I wasn't thinking about, Instagram or PK or his emotional issues that seems to be projecting on social media. So I went ahead and I posted a poll in the Patreon, and I asked the fans, I said, listen, to date, I haven't done anything to retaliate against the horrible posts that PK did. And so I want to know what you guys want me to do, because, essentially I work for the Patreons, right? So I asked them, and this was the result. In first place, do a show with Freddie on the topic and tell the story, and please make it free. Okay. In second place, ignore it. You can't help it that you live rent-free in PK's mind always. I love that one. By the way, NT's the inspiration for that one. In third place, do a video on YouTube and release it free. In fourth place, do a show with Freddie on the topic, tell the story, and keep it in the Patreon. Those are my fans that just want to make sure that we're safe, Freddie. And the last one was do a confessional video and release it on the Patreon. And then it went down from there. Oh, the best one was this one. sue PK for defamation for calling you Shrek to 4 million people. And then I put parentheses kidding. That was last case because they knew I was kidding. So anyway, because of that, I want to say that I decided to reach out to Freddie so that we could address the allegations that PK made and his behavior that he did on social media that shocked the fans. And I thought it was only, we absolutely need Freddie's comments on this. So Freddie.
It's good to be back. Hello.
It's good to have you back, sweetheart.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry about all this.
Don't worry. It's absolutely fine. I think my attitude is that when you sort of sign up to having public profiles on social media and YouTube, you sort of do get backlash from people. So when PK sort of did his little stupid post, it didn't bother me too much, to be honest. And I just made my comments to him very clear on what I had to say. And I just said, well, your castings, your questions were crap. So, because they were, and I mean, they asked the same questions a bunch of times, which on other reality TV shows I've been casted on, they just don't do that. So that was why I said it.
Well, let's first start out for the fans that didn't witness it, because it did happen over like 3 or 4 hours, and it was very action packed. Like it was an action packed performance by PK. And so I'm going to start. There was one, I was sent most of them because the fans screenshotted them and They wanted me to, yeah, I'm glad. And, which was very nice of the fans to do to sort of protect me. And I guess they were pretty upset that he called me a see you next Tuesday again. They see it as misogynist. They see it as, how are you saying that in like today's world?
It's
like
such a degrading word and just such a disgusting word that no one really ever needs to use.
And I think that's really what bothered them, actually. It was more like they didn't really mind the rest of it. It was that, how dare him as like a man be a bully like that when I'm minding my own business. I'm in, to be clear, the episode that PK got upset about was done on the Patreon. It was done in my private membership only location where I'm allowed to vent my feelings, opinions on things and the like. It wasn't done in a public forum. And, to be fair, he represented and alleged that, Freddie, that you and I said that he was an insurance fraudster and that he was definitely having an affair in the UK. Right? That was basically with some 30s.
That is what he said.
Right.
From what I understood.
Yeah. And I'll read you, again, the screenshots that I have are not in total. I don't have the first one, which, was that the one that Kyle Richards reposted, the first post?
So the first one was where he was saying that you were the see you next Tuesday for the second time. And then he mentioned the comments of sort of what you'd done to deserve being this. And then he said, and then he said about me, she has a little mate I've affectionately named Freddie F-Wit. And then tagged, not my reality diamond, my other Instagram account, which I thought was quite funny because my followers went up quite a bit as a result of that. And I had a bunch of like journalists and stuff wanting my comment on it. So, thank you, PK. And then he was like, you two losers can't broadcast made up lies and expect zero consequences. I'm not that guy. And Freddie, we didn't approach you for the UK show. It was the other way round, and your casting sucked. So what I wanted to say about that is my casting did not suck. I mean, it was your rubbish line of questioning that you repeated about 3 or 4 times for every single blooming interview we did. And I've been on a reality TV show in the UK. I've been casted for one of the biggest reality shows in the UK that gets about 850 to 900,000 views a week. And the interviews I've done with these types of shows at top NBC owned, casting sort of production companies, they've done it more as an interview slash conversation type of thing. And in the processes that I've had, they've never asked me the exact same questions like they were doing for PK's show.
Well, and obviously, as we mentioned in the Patreon, the show has seemingly had to go through a lot of creative pivoting, right, since its formation, which has certainly got nothing to do with you. I
actually put on my Instagram at reality.diamond the video of one of the videos I did answering the questions for this PK interview, so people can check that out if they want.
Oh my gosh, can you give me a link to it so I could link it from the Patreon?
Yeah, sure.
I would love that. Okay, just saying. Okay. So, so then he does this original post that you just kind of said, and was it a picture of me and you in that one?
Yeah, it was a picture. Yeah, it was a picture of you, I don't know, from a YouTube video. And then he got a picture of me that we were like at this theme. It was from like a themed lunch I was at in Corfu in Greece over the summer back in August. So yeah.
What was the theme? Just curious.
It was just like fancy dress and like you had to wear like funny hats or stuff. So I had this like toy monkey around my neck.
Oh, okay. All right. I saw that picture. That's funny. I'm going to post these screenshots in the Patreon, you guys. Although this is a free episode, we need to archive them. So I got sent the second screenshot. And the second screenshot was PK Kemsley posting my face with my mouth open. What's new? And and Shrek with a very similar mouth open pose. And he wrote, "Here's an edited version. Let's see if this one sticks." For the second time. And he removed the word "see you next Tuesday," but he implies it by dots. And then he said, "This accolade has been awarded for the following comments she has made on her Little podcast." So he made sure to say Little. Number one, "I have a 32-year-old Jewish girlfriend that I see in London and didn't return to be with my wife after the home invasion because I was with this blonde. Number two, I settled with the Bellagio using insurance monies from the home evasion. Bellagio was settled 2 years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for whatever." And then he goes on a tangent. I don't have the rest. So here's the deal. First of all, I don't look like Shrek. Just going to say that. And I don't look at all like this meme. I don't know why he was so excited about it. But from now on, I'm going to be known as Dana, AKA Pam, AKA Shrek, and I'm okay with it.
Ogres are like onions.
They stink?
Yes. No.
Oh, they make you cry.
So I'll be using Shrek a lot when I'm referring to PK. But secondly, I want to say that the allegations that he chose to magnify to his much greater following than what I have was strange. A lot of the fans did not understand why you would repost that someone said you were cheating and that someone said you defrauded like with insurance money and paid Bellagio with it. They were like, why would you ever give it more exposure, right? And anyway, so that boggled the fans' minds, and it boggled mine too. Freddie, did that boggle you at all?
I thought it was weird because, I mean, you've got quite a big platform of like 600 people, but then he's followed by like over 100,000 people. So what you're doing, PK, is you're telling 100,000 people about the rumors about you. And you're basically asking not us, but other people to put up rumors about you and fuel even more rumors about you, which I just don't think is the smartest thing. And by the way, it wasn't Dana or I that put the blind up about PK and Dorit cheating on each other. I do want to clarify that.
Yeah, no, I never put that up either. I actually reposted it because I was like, see, the world is talking about this, PK.
As did I, to prove people do talk about you. We aren't the only people here.
And there's a whole Reddit about Dorit too, which I've never spoken about, so I'm not, because Reddit, I can take it with a grain of salt. Now I want to say that these allegations were incredibly false. First of all, I never said that PK cheated, to be clear. What I said was that there were rumors and text messages sent, and there was blinds circulating that PK was cheating on Dorit in the UK while he was filming his new reality show. And I even went as far as to comment on the Patreon that I didn't believe that it was true. So PK obviously didn't hear the episode. He heard hearsay about the episode of people that were trying to get him going, or maybe he just became so angry he didn't really listen to what they wrote. But we actually said on the show, and including Freddie, that we didn't believe the rumors.
Exactly. I mean, I remember the words that I said was that if this is or isn't true, that I would need proper empirical evidence to be able to say if that was true, and that I don't believe it until people give actual evidence that if this is or isn't happening.
So PK bashed us for having a conversation about gossip that's been circulating and blinds that have been circulating, and commenting on it that we didn't believe them. So that's what PK bashed Freddie and I for. And then he went on and had this incredible reaction on his social media. In fact, Kyle reposted, and we still to this day don't know which one she reposted, but she reposted one of them on her feed for a short period of time, which means it went to 4 million people.
I mean, I personally didn't see that, but a lot of people just told me that allegedly Kyle did repost one of the PK things.
Yeah, that's what I was told.
So yeah, but I completely agree. She was basically just exposing him to her 3 million plus followers.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Which I just don't think is really clever. You're just, again, that's just fueling rumors even more.
Correct. And as far as the insurance allegation that we said, let me get it back up again. That I settled with the Bellagio using insurance monies from the home invasion. Bellagio was settled 2 years ago. As far as that's concerned, we never said as a fact that that's what he did. What we said was that there was gossip, and the fans were saying that it was a coincidental timing with the settlement of the Bellagio, and that there were blinds, and crazy days and nights and all this stuff that was talking about it. And we had a conversation about it. And that was all that was said. But since he brought it up, and since he said, his piece about it, which was that Bellagio was settled 2 years ago, I wanted to do a quick timeline check, just so set the record straight, right? Once and for all. So the first robbery that Dorit and PK had, which was conducted by Benjamin Iden Ackerman. He was the guy that they believe stole from Dorit and PK. And he had come upon their house because he went to an open house.
Oh, I remember this one.
Yeah. And this was in January 3rd of 2019. This was at his Beverly Hills home. And this gentleman, Benjamin, had stolen from quite a few people. In fact, I have a quote here. Police say Benjamin Iden Ackerman was taken into custody for allegedly stealing millions of dollars worth of designer goods and art from multiple Hollywood Hills homes over the past 2 years. His victims allegedly included Usher, Adam Lambert, and Jason Derulo, as well as the Kemsleys. So he supposedly took a lot of money or stuff from their house, which the police did try to get it returned because some of it they found in a storage unit and some of it they found in his house. I don't know if that impacted the Kemsleys or not. I don't know, how they dealt with that situation, but that's the first robbery. The next thing in the timeline is February 27, 2019. This is when the abstract of the judgment was issued in favor of the Bellagio LLC against Paul Kemsley in the principal amount of $2,270,000, interest in the amount of $0, attorney fees $0, and costs $0. Okay. So that was after that robbery, that would have been like 1 month later. Okay, that the abstract of the judgment was filed. Then on April 21st, 2021, the satisfaction of the judgment was entered in favor of Bellagio LLC against Paul Kemsley. It was filed by the plaintiff, Bellagio LLC. They cleared his name of the debt. That was on April 22nd, 2021. The second robbery that occurred in their Encino home, that was the home invasion robbery, was done on October 28th, 2021, which would have been May, June, July, 6 months after the satisfaction of the judgment. Okay. So basically what I'm saying on that, I do have some fun gossip to tell you separate to this, but based on that timeline, the Bellagio debt was not paid by the insurance from the robbery. So let me clear PK's name for him, even though he wants to call me a see you next Tuesday. And don't think I'm doing this because I'm worried about him suing me, because if anyone has a lawsuit, it's me for him publicly defaming me on his social media. And having Kyle potentially, allegedly repost any of it on her 4 million people because my Patreon's private. So, and I didn't say what he said. So in reality, I'll set the record straight because that's the kind of content I produce. And I want to demonstrate how incorrect PK's allegations against me and Freddie are. So it couldn't have come from the second robbery. I suppose you could make an argument that, it could have happened with the first robbery, but I think it's unlikely because the first robbery was done, as I mentioned, on January 3rd, 2019, and the Bellagio came after.
Yeah,
right?
And the first one, we know who the criminal is, and that it wasn't just targeting Dorit and PK. They were targeting multiple people in the public eye who were clearly trying to list their homes in Beverly Hills and Hollywood Hills.
Exactly. And more importantly, it happened after the judgment. So PK couldn't have been psychic. So this gossip about PK using money, although really fun, juicy gossip, using money from the robberies is not accurate. It couldn't have happened. It didn't happen in any case. And I was able to debunk it very simply by creating a timeline for how things occurred. So anyway, I just want to make it so clear that I didn't do that because of PK threatening me. I did it because that's the kind of show we do on the Patreon, actually. And I want to demonstrate it in a free realm. Now, I hadn't done a deep dive on this particular blind on the last show because we weren't really, that wasn't the goal of it. It was just discussing what people were saying and commenting on it. And that was why we didn't debunk it in that episode. But since obviously we struck a nerve with PK, or something struck a nerve with him, I thought we'll do this for him. So I want to make this so clear. He posted a post about Freddie and I and made all these allegations and called us to see you next Tuesday. And then he posted another one of me and Shrek. He took out the see you next Tuesday part and reposted it again. Someone reported it. Instagram looked at the post and for the second time took it down against their community guidelines. He then put up a third post. This is how bad this man wanted to.
Well, how obsessed he was with us.
It was insane. So he basically puts up a third post or a fourth post. I've lost count. And it gets reported. Instagram takes it down again against the community guidelines. Okay, so he's put up 3 to 4 posts, all taken down by Instagram, the community. Now, I have never, ever had a post taken down by Instagram, ever. Not even the one that PK said caused his robbery. They took it down, they evaluated it, they put it back up because it was all public information. So PK posts all this bad shit about you and I, Freddie, and gets down 4 times and he doesn't think he's doing anything wrong.
Notice how he doesn't post anything about me because PK and I are actually tight.
Wow, you traitor. What can I tell you?
Yeah, he and I have been friends for years. What am I going to do? Just, turn my back on the guy?
All right. Well, at least Casey and PK are in bed together. So, so the last post that PK puts up is Shrek is removed from this one. It is back to I guess the original post of you with the monkey. And, or is that where it ends? Let me see here. Hold on a minute. Oh, that is the first post. I see.
That was the first post, but he put that same picture up again. I think that was like the 3rd, 4th, or maybe even 5th post he put up again. To be honest, I lost track because he did so many that were going up and then being deleted or being reported. I don't know.
Yeah,
so it was really
insane.
hard to keep track. All I just know is a bunch of friends that I know that follow PK were like, why is PK going after you? What's your beef? Why does he have beef with you?
It's so bizarre. Even for me, it's bizarre. The other thing that happened to me is, so Steve Kemsley, you know who he is?
The brother.
Steve Kemsley decides to join in the bullying of PK against me. And he just writes one thing to me. And he said the actual word, but I'll abbreviate it for just so it's because it's really, it really upsets people. It triggers a lot of people, but he calls me a see you next Tuesday. Nothing else. Just see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. That's it.
Yep. I don't even know, like, why. You know what made me think? I mean, the rumors are saying that someone close to his family in UK, maybe the brother thought it was like had to do with him, even though it wasn't. Like, that's not who the gossip is linked to. So I was like, could he be like gotten yelled at by PK or something, that maybe allegedly he got yelled at? I'm totally speculating. And that's why he yelled at me. Like, why would the brother jump in?
I just don't know. Maybe he's just the ever protective brother. I don't know. But like, I don't know this. I don't know this brother guy. So, but I mean, yeah, you could have a point as well, or maybe, I don't know, he knew someone that knew you or knew you, and that person was the one that told you.
Well,
I'm just speculating. I'm just not really sure. But I just think that the C word, it's just a very nasty, disgusting, and unpleasant word. And for me personally, as I said on my channel and like other channels that I've been on, and I will say it here, is that I don't really need to stoop to his low-level budget behavior to get a response or put my point across.
Well, what's really strange about it is PK actually, I think, must have contacted the press or something to try to get coverage of our argument, because
100%.
they would never care what I do. I'm not relevant. I've never said I was.
There were like 3 different articles, and there were no articles about it the first time you were his See You Next Tuesday of the week either.
No, there
And-
was page 6, actually. No, page 6.
But there was
covered it.
like, but this time around, there was like page 6, reality blurb.
Well, okay, so this time page 6 didn't cover it, did they? No.
I think so. Reality blurb definitely did. Because
Definitely did.
Multiple of my followers sent me that article where they mentioned my name.
So let's just say this. So in the first time I was on the See You Next Tuesday, page 6 got involved and they did a whole thing on it. And so did other news outlets. It was like crazy. I don't know. And then Teddy Mellencamp did her best to keep bringing it up. Okay. Now in this case, all of a sudden Reality Blurb writes about it like 3 days in a row, which was really strange. Like they usually write something once. It almost felt like he was calling them and saying, write it again, write it. Like I definitely think PK was behind Reality Blurb. I think he asked her to write about it.
Yeah. So the other, it wasn't page 6. It was Reality Tea and Screen Rant that did articles about this.
So basically, those are the ones that have communication with the reality stars. Those are ones that reality stars, when you're on, you can just give them a call and they'll write stuff. So
what a beg of him to do that.
Yeah. So but would talk about more magnification. He just magnified it again. So he basically went on now saying he's a cheater and all this stuff. Allegations of cheating exist and insurance, this thing. And he now tells these tabloids to write about it. What's happening?
I just think it's weird. But the other thing he did, probably without realizing it, is he magnified both of us. I mean, both my followers on my 2 Instagram accounts went up. My analytics and subscribers on my YouTube channel went up massively as well. So if anything, he did me a favor in that regard.
Well,
so
I
thank
won't.
you.
Yeah, you go ahead. Say your thank you to PK. Go ahead.
Thank you, PK. And I'm sorry that you feel upset with what we said. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sorry, PK. I'm not sorry because I don't need to be. But I will say thank you for getting Freddie's followers up. Thank you, PK. Love you. My followers went up too. If you guys could see me right now. Casey can. All right. Now I want to say some news. Would you like to hear some news?
Oh, I love a bit of Dana Wilkie news.
Okay, cool. Well, it turns out that PK has finally sold his house that he, I guess, partnered up with Sam Nazarian on in Beverly Hills for $7,950,000. And it is officially contingent, finally, at last.
Finally.
Yep. So maybe some of these funds might have come from that sale. Like he's back in the money again. You know, the TV show, the new TV show in the UK.
But if it's contingent, he wouldn't have got the full amount of money yet.
But he would at least know it's coming so he could spend other money.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, he knows, oh, we get a check in the mail for $1 million, don't worry. And then he could do it. That's what I was thinking. So they just, what's interesting about that house being in contingent is that it was just listed 29 days ago. Now before, PK, I believe, had turned down an offer that was 7.4 million. But I guess, that was quite a few years ago. Right. And he still hadn't sold it. So now they finally, I guess they wanted that extra $500,000.
I mean, he was deluded enough to think when he first listed it with Mauricio that he could get $12.5 million for it. I mean, he was deluded to think that, I'm afraid. I mean, it's just not a £12.5 million property whatsoever.
So you guys, what really bothers me?
What?
Every time I am mentioned in an article lately, they always say Dana Wilkie from The Housewife and the Hustler, and they never say the Shaw Shocker. And it really upsets me because I looked so much better in the Shaw Shocker than Housewife and the Hustler. It's like soul crushing. I'm just saying. Sidebar, but
and they never say like former friend of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Do you think maybe because Andy Cohen has like told these outlets and been like, you are not allowed to say that Dana Wilkie was a friend on my little show?
Oh no, he's definitely blacklisted me. They cut me out of the book, right? After they interviewed me, that, you know, when his input came into play, I was cut. And then, you know, he went really far to like, you know, abandoned the connection of me and the show, which I'm fine with because I don't care about it. But I love, you know, I use it because it gives me an insight that you guys appreciate, you know, but I don't use it like, oh, let me get my clout from 10 years ago on Housewives. I just use it like
Teddy Mellencamp's did.
Teddy hates me. So, you know, just because you're here, you could be hated by her. Who knows?
What is it? I love it. So a blogger on YouTube that we're both quite friendly with, he calls her the boring one. It just always makes me laugh when he says it.
Well, you know, obviously that criticism isn't completely shady because she got kicked off Big Brother even after the first week. And that had nothing to do with Bravo's editing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So let me play you guys something really quick.
Pay back Ryan Horn the money that you're Dorit, yeah? Yes. Why don't you pay back Ryan Horn the money that you owe him, you cheap bitch? Why don't you do that? You've got money to come to Nassau. No. Why don't you and your con artist husband, why don't you pay back all the hundreds and thousands of dollars that you owe? All that money that you owe. How much is it? 300,000 that you owe? Why don't you give me the money back?
So I just feel like PK came so hard for us, Freddie, when there were people like that was Jasmine Leonard, who's a reality star. And she's a British actress and TV host and reality star. She was on Celebrity Big Brother season 10. And she was also on Make Me a Supermodel, and she stood out on that show. And I just feel like, you know, why are we getting bashed so hard by PK when he has, you know, reality stars that bump into them or see them in the Caribbean, even though that was like, I think 2017 or 2018 when that happened, you know, running after Dorit, yelling at her, why are you, ripping people off or whatever she says.
That Jasmine Leonard woman, she's a lot more known. I mean, she went out with Simon Cowell for a bit.
Oh my God, tell me everything. Simon has a real reputation. Go ahead, tell me. I'm dying.
So obviously Simon Cowell dated quite a few people before being engaged to Lawrence Silverman. But yeah, she went out with Simon Cowell for a bit in his bachelor days. That's all I really know. But
she the one right before the engaged one that he was with for like 8 years, or a different? Was she not?
Well, he was engaged to a makeup artist as well called Mishkan Husseini as well. So I don't think he was engaged to Jasmine Leonard though.
Okay. Well, all I can tell you is like, I mean, that was insane, right? Like to have this reality star run up on you and like, obviously they had friends in common. Like I'm speculating, but it sounded like they had friends.
I think she definitely did, or she knew Ryan Horn personally, because the news of Dorit and PK owing this money to Ryan Horn wasn't really out there at the time. And it was sort of the information, the lawsuit about Ryan Horn came out sort of at the same time that the Jasmine Leonard video came of her chasing Dorit in that on the cast trip to the Bahamas.
Yeah, because I know that they ended up settling that lawsuit in the end, or it never went to a trial. It just
Yeah,
stopped.
I'm not sure. I mean, I know that it's not a lawsuit that they've got now.
Yeah, no, it went away. Like they
Mm.
definitely, there was speculation on what happened with him and them. But yeah, it went away. I just thought that was pretty compelling. Like to have someone go out of their way, that's British, by the way. Like that was, you know what I mean?
When I've only got like 4,300 followers and I was on a very minor TV show. I just think it's quite funny.
It's
and I
just
didn't
so
chase you round a pool in the Bahamas or your wife. So like, why are you getting so like angry at me?
I don't know. The fans have speculated that they think that he overreacted, and that's actually telling. So I'll leave it there.
Well, I think maybe he sort of got rid of the post as he sort of regretted.
He didn't get rid of the posts. Instagram took them down.
Oh, they took them all down. Oh,
so the fans, every time he put it up,
interesting.
the Instagram came in and took it down, because my fans, I wasn't online, and my fans, probably your fans too, went and said, this is not right. He shouldn't be able to call her, see you next Tuesday. I was told that 90% of the things in the comments were like, PK, what are you doing? Like, this is so like wrong to call a woman this. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, stop. And then people were like, why is he magnifying it? Why is he? And then Instagram would get a report, and so they'd pull it down because it was against our community guidelines. He put it back up. He'd say, I'm putting it back up to try to get it to stick now. They took it down again. He put it back up again. They took it down again. He took it back up. So it was like that.
Well, yeah, wow. I just remember getting like 20 notifications when that post came up and seeing him tagging me. And I thought, right, I'm going to get my piece in and comment on this post before it goes away or anything like that.
Well, you know what's so sad is that he did tag somebody that was supposed to be me, but he didn't tag me.
Oh, he tagged a different Dana Wilkie.
Correct.
Gosh.
So yeah,
I did not know about that.
Yeah, so some innocent girl, you know, got clobbered probably by his fans. I got no negativity. I got one "see you next Tuesday" DM from his brother, and
I got
like,
no negativity.
Oh, actually, one group didn't. Lisa Vanderpump fans attacked me. But that was
why? I mean, Lisa
Vanderpump's
Vanderpump's not even friends with Dorit or PK anymore, and allegedly.
Oh no, it wasn't actually her fan. It was like a person's handle. Lisa Vanderpump fan, like one person.
Well, I don't know why the Lisa Vanderpump fan thinks that supporting Lisa Vanderpump, as allegedly there was a lot of rumors out there that when Lisa and Ken fell out with Dorit and PK, Lisa was trying to get the producers to make Dorit and PK talk about the money problems that they've allegedly had over the years.
Yeah. So I don't know why that particular person behind that account attacked me, but whatever, it didn't matter. It was one person. I actually went through all my DMs just to see, and not one person attacked me. In fact, they all said that they really thought PK was wrong.
Yeah, that's what I had. They were all really, really lovely, supportive people. So yeah, thank you for that.
And then there was like a few people that were team PK, but I think they just liked PK. I don't think they really cared what he said. Like if he said jump off a cliff, they would have been like, yay, we love PK. Let's jump off a cliff, you know, like that. Yeah. Well, anyway, the big question I have, Casey, is do you think we're going to make it on season 12? We can only hope.
Yeah, I already shot with PK.
What do you have you doing?
We were just playing poker. He was teaching me how to play poker. I'm kind of like his son. I kind of play his son in the season. So
wow, that's fabulous. So you throw me under the bus. Like, is there a scene where you and Teddy basically get together and, you know, come up with like a way to take me out in some way?
Yeah. There's a lunch between PK, myself, and Teddy.
Well, if Teddy was in the picture, I bet you it was really a boring lunch.
I love it. So yeah, well, just so you know, we do think that PK and Dorit are trying to get publicity around it with me and the robbery and the other stuff so that they can try to make it part of a storyline. You know how they show an article and they can,
which doesn't make sense because you said that Andy Cohen likes you and he doesn't want you associated with anything. So you'd think that Dorit and PK would know that they just wouldn't be able to get away with that storyline because he doesn't want to mention your name. And if they wanted that as a storyline, they'd sort of have to mention your name. And Andy Cohen's going to be like, absolutely not. I'd rather fire you.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. And I think they thought Teddy, like if it was a big enough story for the fans that he would have to address it.
And that he could sort of promote his new show in the UK on Housewives potentially.
Yes, exactly. So that's what I think I do think it was an agenda. And I do think it was to serve that agenda and try to piggyback, like you said, his UK show and smash me at the same time. But it's never going to happen. We'd never be lucky enough to have Andy come for us on season 12. That's all I wish. Okay. Anyway. All right. Well, that's, I guess, everything that we wanted to say. Do you have anything else you want to say, Freddie, get on the record in response to PK's horrible bullying to us?
Well, I think it's a bit telling that he was the one that blocked me on Instagram rather than vice versa. So that's very telling. And I mean, I just really am not bothered about him coming after me. I just think it's so unnecessary. And he just did the typical thing. And he's done this to other bloggers. And that's sort of trying to spin what was actually said. So, like, all I can say is, I'm sorry that you feel that way, PK. And there's not really much I can do about it. You know, everything we said was alleged or was rumored.
Well, and we didn't say what he said, period. So I don't know, you know, like I said, but, you know, I guess what I want to say to PK is I know you're a branding expert. I know what you're up to. I see your agenda. I know it's self-serving. I know you don't give a shit about what I say. So good luck with that. And I hope it helps one of your 6 companies that you got on as a director in the next 2020, 2021. You came on as a director, I noticed, on Soundex Limited, PKVG Limited, Mayfair Agency Limited, Health and Beauty Association, and Kemsley Kids, all of which you became a director of in the UK in 2020 and 2021 on the public record. So I wish you luck with those companies. And I hope coming after and bullying me and calling me a see you next Tuesday and comparing me to Shrek gets you everything you want. Everything you deserve.
So Merry early Christmas or early happy birthday to you, PK.
Mwah.